Hi, I'm Ya-Chih Chang, and this is my colleague, Dr. Jennifer Symon, and we're from Cal State LA. The title of our presentation today is Speaking the Same Language, Early Childhood Special Education Teachers and Behavioral Analysts. So I wanted to give you an overview of our program called Pisces. It stands for Partners in Improving Social Communication in Early Childhood Special Education. And this is an interdisciplinary training program for our early childhood special education candidates, as well as our behavioral analysts in our master's program. And the goal of this program is to use evidence-based practice to increase social communication in young children with autism spectrum disorders and significant social communication delays. And for our presentation today, we will be describing the shared fieldwork through the Pisces training program and present preliminary data from the goal development for this course.
So this project aims to assist in the collaboration and the challenges that we often face as working on an educational team, both in a classroom and during home settings. So the procedures I'm going to share involve how the interdisciplinary fieldwork in ASD includes both our early childhood special educators and our behavior analysts. They have a shared fieldwork class, and it's a 16-week semester course where they are provided support at their individual sites through four visits for our early childhood teachers and 3 site visits for our ABA behavior analysts. They also participate during 6 group supervision meetings where we all work together. And it's very collaborative in that while they're working on their assignments, we also have many opportunities for them to share with each other and provide each other strategies and ideas to best support their students with ASD. They also conduct direct observations, which is very individualized based on the setting they're working on and the student whom they're working with. So they have to decide what kind of assessments they might be using, and they gain support from their faculty supervisor in addition to each other and their on-site supervisors what assessments might be most appropriate. So sometimes they're using different types of assessments like a Vineland assessment or a VB map or a DAISY-2 or a language sample, all different types of assessments to help them develop goals that are most appropriate where they would be targeting social communication skills. And that's one of their course assignments. So for this study, we were collecting data specifically on the goals that our students submit. So we're looking at how these goals are related to the diagnosis and the criteria of ASD, if they're targeting social communication or restricted repetitive behaviors. We're also measuring and recording whether these goals are clear and measurable, whether they're operationally defined or whether they're not. And what about their developmental appropriateness for their clients or the students or whom they're supporting. And then finally, we wanted to know and determine, are these goals really socially meaningful?
So for the results, we looked at 14 of our scholars in the program. 5 were early childhood special ed master students and 9 were ABA master students. Our students are pretty diverse here at Cal State LA. You'll see that 64% of the participants in this particular study were of Hispanic background, 21% were white, and 14% were Asian. And we also had a couple male teachers and participants in our study for this particular cohort. And then they also had a mixed role in what they did in the either home setting or school setting, including being behavioral analysts, university interns, student teachers, as well as ABA supervisors. And you'll also see that the setting in which they worked with kids with autism also varied. About 50% were in home settings, 43% in school, and 7% at daycare. So in looking at their goal development, and this is just the initial assessment of what their goals look like, 100% of the students actually wrote developmentally appropriate goals. And you'll see that it was more variable in the 4 other criteria that we're looking at. And the criterion that needed the most improvement was actually that the goals needed to be operationally defined. And you'll see that there's also variability in some of the other criteria we're looking at, including socially meaningful, as well as whether the goals were related to the diagnosis of ASD. So we're really looking at whether this is a social communication goal for this particular assignment.
Some of our takeaways and next steps, we're finding that our participants, both in our early childhood programs and in our ABA programs, could really benefit from additional training in writing SMART goals. We do offer them other courses like an assessment course, and they're learning to work under master teachers or working in their programs. And we are definitely taking this information into our own feedback loop when we're designing our courses and our field work to really assist them in making sure that they're targeting goals that are specific and measurable. And another takeaway point we had was really important in terms of this interdisciplinary approach to target the core features of ASD. So we're finding that some students might be writing goals more specific to things outside of ASD, like, fine motor skills, and maybe just attending without really targeting the core features of ASD. So we're finding that needs to be a greater strength and focus on the training, in addition to socially meaningful goals that are going to make a bigger impact on the client or the child's kind of bigger quality of life or ability to socially communicate and participate. If you had any questions or wanted additional information, we provided our contact information. Dr. Chang's information is right there provided in our poster. Thank you for listening.